Delaware County, Pennsylvania Borough Council meeting for April 20th, 2023 is now called to order. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I be recognized?
You recognize, Councilor.
I would like to place a motion on the floor to remove Sharon Council Harris as chair. There are no questions, but I do have a statement.
No statement.
I can make a statement. It is a question. I'll turn it into a question if I have to. For the last 15, 16 months, our borough has been ran into the ground. We are suffering terribly under this current leadership. Councilors do not know everything that is going on with this borough. Therefore, we do not have a decision. We're not able to make decisions on behalf of the constituents that elected us to this office. This is an atrocity, it's an embarrassment, and we must do something now. We're behind the 8 ball. This is not politics, this is business. I do not want to continue to stand by and allow this borough to be in a chokehold under this current leadership. It's not about popularity, it's about who has the best interest of this borough in hand. For those reasons only, I am putting a motion forward so that we can start today, not after election. This has nothing to do with elections. It has to do with business. Our people are suffering. I'm suffering. Councilors up here are suffering, and it's not a game. So if you're truly interested in moving this borough forward and turning this boat around, we will do the right thing and change the leadership for the better.
No.
The audience indicated they cannot hear.
Councilor Johnson voted no.
They need to hear her.
Councilor Johnson, can you repeat your vote?
No.
Everybody hear that?
I can't hear it.
Councilor
Does everybody
Roselau?
hear it?
I can't.
Yes.
Councilor Brooks?
Councilor Brooks, you there?
Did you hear me?
Yes, we heard you. Thank you.
Councilor Monroe?
Yes.
Councilor Beatty?
Yes.
Motion fails.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols.
Since it's a game, your other councilors need to come in person.
run on
workshops,
down.
can't be legislative,
That's not fair to the residents that are here on time.
can't be an absentee counselor.
She never comes.
Vice President Johnson, are you able to come to the meetings?
Gotta both be here.
She can't even come to a meeting.
See the corruption in the system, people.
They both have to come.
Carlette and Lorraine haven't been to meetings in months. Carlette hasn't been to a workshop meeting since last March. She hasn't been to a legislative meeting in 2 months.
She needs to resign.
You need to resign, Carlette. You're not gonna come here and do your job, you resign.
Get out.
Same with you, Lorraine.
She got a broken foot.
They don't have a quorum.
We're going to convert this meeting into a town hall so that we can recognize Ms. McGurk, who has invited the sheriff of our county here with regards to a program that has benefited this town for many, many years. We are prepared to stay here and we'll convert this meeting into a town hall so that we have an opportunity to recognize the efforts of citizens, regular citizens, who have invested in this community over the past 20 years. So that's what we're going to do. We can't pay any vendors. These councilors were elected to legislate.
Where's Carlette? Where's Lorraine?
Excuse
They're
me.
elected to be here.
Chief, I'm going to ask you, for these outbursts, if we did not conduct a peaceable meeting here, we need people to be removed. This is irregular.
This is a town hall.
We're not allowed to say anything.
Town hall.
You can't have a town hall without the town.
People about all the legal matters that you unilaterally told the solicitor to defend without bringing it to the table with all counselors. Why don't you tell them that? You're spending money for legal fees, and we don't even know about the mayor. So why don't you tell them that?
Why is
Why is Carlette involved in the mayor? We know that. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to continue to sign this for you to squander these monies. I'm not doing it.
Why is your personal lawyer on the AP
We're not
list?
going to sit here and allow you to continue to misappropriate these funds. Anybody. You're the culprit too. Carlette and Lorraine. That's right. You too. I'll talk to the finance director. We're in major issues. Year to date, where we're going to be at the end of the year. There's a lot of areas where we are going to be over budget.
Out of order.
There's no
There's
order.
a
Town hall.
If it's a town hall, there is no order. Who's the guy?
There is order. There is order in this chamber.
Do it on Zoom. Do it on Zoom.
Do it on
So
Zoom.
nobody can talk back.
All right, time out. Let's get order. Borough Council President said she wants to turn it into a town hall.
No.
So let's have that recognition as we can't have the regular meeting because there's no quorum. But town hall type of meeting can be conducted, so.
Yeah, if you don't lie to us.
So what's the next step? What is
Listen,
it?
for us to be able to have a town hall, we're going to follow the recommendations of our, first of all, our finance director, who came here and prepared tonight to dispel the myths that you're hearing, the outbursts that you're hearing here tonight. We hired this gentleman, Mr. Nichols, who has maintained and fulfilled a vital function in this town. And if I may digress for a moment, the Borough Code outlines the policies and procedures and laws that govern the operation of a town council. There cannot be disruptions. You can't block the camera, Ms. Liz.
She's
You
not
cannot
blocking.
block the camera.
But it's okay for you to block the voters' will.
Sir, you are out of order.
No, you are out of order.
Okay, this has been going on for the past 16 months.
It's your fault.
16 months.
Funny how it coincides with all your corruption. Isn't that funny?
5 neighbors who supported the former police chief. We inherited.
We support
My experience had
transparency.
nothing to do with that. They had to do with the fiscal responsibility.
Chief, I'm going to need your help with the mayor's consent.
Jesus.
I have Jesus for your information.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Council President, if it's a town hall, can you let people speak? Why don't we just let people say their piece?
You cannot have people shouting out.
Can we,
This has been
can
going
we do
on
this? Can we,
for over 16 months. And people ask me,
Mike.
how do you take it? How do you sit here calm? How do you try to do your business as a legislator, duly elected to do the business of the town, when you have people that are in opposition, purely political opposition?
Because you're lust for power.
here's what I said.
Public safety is not politics.
Transparency.
Residents,
Well, it's a town that is the same 5 folks
here's,
for 16 months.
here's,
Can you listen to what we are talking about?
In addition to the councilors who lost their power, who are power hungry to get it back.
Now you want to turn it into a political thing.
These
Now you want to turn that into a
disruptions
political.
continue for the past 16
These
months.
disruptions are the only thing you pay attention to.
And it doesn't change the facts, sir.
Here's what I suggest. If the audience could compose themselves and not yell out and all that.
Can Sharon stop
Wait a minute,
lying?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. I'm the mayor. What I propose, what I'm asking is if you could stop yelling out or having outbursts, I'll ask the president, if this is a town hall, residents can speak. If the residents could express civilly at the mic, if we call you up, you fill out a form, and whatever you want to say, you can do that in an orderly fashion.
That would be refreshing.
Is that okay?
Can we have a few minutes to fill out forms?
It's not okay. Look at this. It's not okay.
Hold on. Your voices will be heard.
No, they won't.
Who needs a form?
She don't want our
All right, so what order do you want to do that? All right, so what we'll do, I'm asking the borough president if she'll state the order of which this is going to occur, so that the public is apprised.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. We're going to bring to the audience right now for this town hall around Miss Leslie McGurk, Lewis McGurk, her program, the Fresh Start program that started 20 years ago. I would like for you, Ms. McGurk, to come forward.
Wow. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I just want to share with you some exciting news that the Fresh Start Program Mayor is now 20 years in. So with a lot of hard work and dedication with elected officials, community leaders, residents, family, friends, that we are blessed to know that our program now is 20 years. We are looking forward to having an anniversary. We're waiting until September. Yesterday was actually the 20-year anniversary for the Fresh Start program, with our students coming back talking about graduating from college, some of them who now have their own businesses, married with children. I feel like I'm getting old at 25. So we're excited to share some of those things, but it is a blessing to know, for some of those who do know, that the Fresh Start program did start right here in this borough, right downstairs on the second floor, with 7 kids in a corner that followed behind my son. My son was 75 days truant from school. And when I got the notice, Liz, I'm sure she's got her eyes up in the air, that he was 75 days truant from school, I marched right into that courtroom to try to figure that out, because I was dropping my son off every single day to school, him and my daughter. And I designed a program that held the school accountable for our children, because the minute that a child walked into the courtroom, to the school, then they should have known if a child snuck out. But he didn't. The janitor had designed a program within the school, and he had some of the kids in the school with that program. So when he didn't go to homeroom, he was not marked present. But anyway, it opened up a can of worms within the school districts and within the courts. So it allowed a lot of the truancy cases that were there were not correct. So I would go into the school, have the kids sign in, and I was in every court here from Lansdowne to Yeadon to Darby and to Sharon Hill, and we opened up a whole can of worms with supporting youth. And I thank God when I came here, Roy Hunter was the one who worked side by side with me, and then State Representative Ronald G. Waters gave me funding, and every year, he's back there not even grinning, but every year, every award ceremony, the mayor here always gave funding for those kids to receive awards for those programs. Jerry Saunders also, and many, many more. Senator Williams and Joanne McClinton, Sharon Council. And we just thank you guys. We could not have, this program would not be a success if it wasn't for all the support of you guys. So I just wanted to come out and, I said Anthony Williams. I just wanted to come out and share that with you guys. So I don't know if you guys are excited, but I'm excited. 20 years in with helping kids.
Hello, everybody in the community. I'm here to talk about what's going on and what's not going on in our community. I know that you all have looked at the news and you saw those young people who have lost their lives. And those young people were active in trying to make something out of themselves. And when you look at Yeadon, we don't have anything going on that I'm aware of. For our kids, we have the sports, but we don't have anything else going on out here. We don't have recreation centers. We don't have classes in here where they can come in and, I don't know if karate has come back. No, it's not. Okay, but we don't have anything here. And this happened many years ago, I guess 20 years ago, yes, when the program first came up. We supported Dr. Ford. You were the president. We supported them 100%. And then after that, and then the program grew, so much so, because we didn't provide a home for them here, Darby said, bring it over here. And then they flourished over there. The program became well known. They had people coming in from all of these different TV stations to support them, to help the kids. And many of those kids are in college now that I call them throwaway kids because I have a program where I work with returning citizens. People who come out of jail, my program helps them to get jobs, housing, and they also get a counselor. Because people need that to get through, especially in this day and age. And what her program offered those young people were a place to call home. Because we didn't have a recreation center. We don't have things going on in our borough. We had PAL for a minute, which was cool, but then all of that was gone. So we had this program, but we didn't have it here in Yeadon. So now, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. A lot of the kids were from Yeadon, but they were from other boroughs too, because this young lady went out of her way to not only help her son, but she saw that there were other kids that needed that same kind of help and that same kind of love. And so I feel as if, as a resident here, and that's how I'm speaking as a resident, that we should celebrate our own. We celebrate the people here who are doing something to help our kids so that they don't go the wrong way. And you know, we are blessed because we don't have a lot. We do have some issues, and I guess the police chief can attest to that, but we don't have a lot of issues with our teenagers. I'm speaking. We don't have a lot of issues involving our kids. And I believe truly that because of this woman here, that we don't have that because of what she's sown into to some of the kids. So I'm here to say that as a resident of Yeadon, I am 100% about celebrating our very own here in Yeadon, in Borough Hall, downstairs, where we can celebrate, because let me tell you, there are going to be all kind of folks coming. Do we want it to go to Darby? Do we want it to go to Cowan? No, we want it to be here. We need something here at this time to be proud of because of what we just went through for the last 12 months. We need something to put us back on the map to say that we're doing good things here. And so I'm here to say that I'm 100% behind this young lady, the celebration. I'm going to be there, and I'm sure a lot of folks in the community are going to be there. So I'm 100%, and I hope that you are with me too. And then I hope that with moving forward, with the election and so forth, that we can do something and focus on our kids, and not ourselves, and not on each other, but focus on our kids. They need help. We don't want them to be a part of my program, returning citizens from being incarcerated. We want to do something about them now. Thank you.
Dr. Ford.
Thank you. There's very little that I can say at this point. Everybody has said almost everything there is to say about the celebrants today. But I don't want you to think it was an easy task for her.
Amen.
She is a person who is very tenacious when she has an idea. She did meet with resistance. There were people who did not want to have the program here. But there's something about Leslie that I admire, and that is that even if she's alone in her quest, she is going to succeed. She doesn't know how, she doesn't know where, but she's going to succeed. So she is a shero today. She was alone in her quest for a while. We had to convince some of the council members that this was a worthwhile event, that it was a worthwhile program, that our students needed this. There are students that I meet right now. There's a young woman at COSA who has her master's in social studies, who is one of your students, on whom the school system had given up. But you saw something in her, and you caused it to bloom. And that's what makes you so very special. So I am very happy that my council, when I was president, is the first council that gave her money to begin her program. And it has grown from there. But I do want to tell you this one thing. When she first started, Leslie and her husband used their own funds to support the program. Their own funds to support this program. She would go to the school, she looked for truants, she roamed the streets, and if she saw them, she dragged them right back to school. That takes courage. My father used to say all the time that it takes courage to stand alone and do what is right. You did that. God bless you. This is a, I guess I call it a medal, even though it isn't, that the students made, some of her present students made, and they wanted to thank you. And the young woman at COSA wants to thank you because they never thought she would get a master's degree, and she has it.
Thank you.
Leslie, I'm going to ask you to help me to facilitate your guest here this evening. And who would you like to come up next? All right, our Sheriff of Delaware County. Chief Law Enforcement Officer for our county.
Good evening.
Before you start, I want to apologize for the disruptions tonight. It has been a long, unwinding road.
but we're here, we can find positive vibe in spite of the negative outbursts and political wranglings. So thank you, sir, for being here.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and I would like to say good evening and to the Honorable Mayor and the Honorable Council people here. It's an honor to be here. And I want to say it again, it's an honor to be here for the reason that I'm here. Not only to say hello to my friends on council and the mayor, but to give honor to whom honor is due. And we all have that responsibility. And I would like to fulfill my responsibility to give honor to whom honor is due. I will not repeat everything that Sister McDonald said, except to say amen. I agree with everything that she said. But as I listen to all the testimony about Leslie, what I hear, she's a gardener. She's the gardener. And you water and plant our young people. And God will give the increase. Over 20 years of watering and planting. Wow. God will give the increase.
Yes, he will.
So I just want to say that I'm grateful to be here, because there's a lot of ceremonial things that we go through as elected officers. Ceremonial. And we can say the right things and really have no feeling. Just, we know what to say. And you can say those things and not the words, it's just words. But I want you to know it comes from the heart. You deserve it. You deserve it. So we thank God for the Leslie Griffs. You have been a mother figure to many over the years.
Yes, yeah, she has.
Wow. Does that help? Wow. Thank you, Leslie.
It's always an honor to host Sheriff Jerry Sanders, who's a great friend of Delaware County, great friend of Yeadon Borough, and me and he goes back a long way, even with my wife, but we'll keep that private. Thanks. No, what I mean is, my wife works at the hospital. Go ahead. You'll definitely clear it up.
Give honor to whom honor is due.
Amen.
My wife had a medical procedure, and Mayor Hepkin's wife works at the hospital. And before the procedure, you had to go through a lot of bureaucratic work and speak to some people. And I was impressed, and my wife was impressed with Mrs. Hepkins, because it wasn't about the J-O-B. The feeling just came.
Comfort. She's a lovely woman. Comfort.
Very comforting, and with a sensitive medical procedure, we were very nervous. But she had that just a calming effect on my wife and I at a time that we needed it.
Yes.
At a time that we needed it. So she has a gift also. And so I stood up because I don't want to miss an opportunity. When someone does something good for you, speak about it.
That's right. That's right. Supposed to do.
And she comforted us when we needed it.
Amen.
So I never miss a moment to say it. I'll say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times.
Amen.
Thank you. When you see your wife, thank her again. God bless you.
I want to thank Leslie McGurth for her 2 decades of work with the Fresh Start program. She's put a lot of time into it and invested in a lot of our children. So well done on that milestone. So well recognition. I pray God will continue to bless you, and that you will continue to foster that ministry and that effort. Thank you.
Before our
have quorum.
A proclamation for Ms. McGurk, and I want to preface the statement by first saying that Leslie McGurk, how I first met her, she had stopped my son, who then was about 15, 16 years old, my youngest son, Jared Council. She had stopped him crossing the street. He had a part-time job at the then Burger King that was located where the gas station is there. And she says, I'm having a mother-son dance at the Borough, and bring your mother back with you. And that's child number 10. And so he came home, and he was all excited. He said, Mom, you gotta come to me to this dance. The interesting thing was that he didn't know how to dance. Oh. He had been a church boy, didn't go anywhere but to church. And so we came up and we learned a few steps from Miss Leslie's line dance and the mothers and the sons. It was a wonderful occasion. That was our first introduction to each other. After that, my daughter Megan, who's the baby sister of Jared, was about 16 years old. Not 16, she was, but look further down. She was about 16 years old. And Leslie invited her to tutor some of these kids in the Fresh Start program. She was going to Prendergast, Archbishop Prendergast Street Church School. And I came and volunteered right over here at Evans with the program for some of those children. So I've been acquainted with Leslie over the 20 years for this program. And as former council president Vivian Ford mentioned, that she was the first to give the money. Now, I don't know if I was the first to give the money as council president in terms of a donation to help in that effort. But I have this proclamation I'd like to read. We want to put this on the record.
I think you're mistaken.
You were before me?
Yes, you were the first. I was the first because she gave birth to it under my administration.
Oh, well then, I stand corrected, Dr. Ford. But we also contributed to the Fresh Start program as president of council. We made, back in 2018, we made donations to the program. 20 years ago, Leslie Lewis McGurk started a tutoring program in her home. Several years later, she was called into court for a truancy case due to her son being truant from school. She marched into the courtroom and challenged the judge to allow her son to start a program designed to help youth in the William Penn School District. Due to the many cases and children crying out for help, she left her job and put all of her energy and time as an advocate to the court in the courtroom for teens of Delaware County. Leslie was respected by the local judges. Leslie has successfully mentored over 1,000 youth, accomplished all goals, and financially sent many youth off to college. The program has mended broken homes, removed youth from jail systems, stopped the gang fighting between Darby and Yeadon, candlelight visuals when our youth were hurting from tragic death. Major accomplishments was replacing the $35,000 power wheelchair from the young kid in Philadelphia whose chair had been stolen. Fresh Start has a fundraiser and a silent donor give back of funds. The drive also in Mount Airy delivered the check plus funds placed in their bank accounts. I'm sorry. Leslie was honored by the Philadelphia 76ers in January of 2015. Local churches, Senator Williams, former State Representative Ronald G. Waters, State Representative Joanna McClinton, Delaware County Officer of the Sheriff Jerry Saunders, ward leaders of Philadelphia, youth and family members of the Fresh Start program, and many more. Leslie has been supported by many legendary celebrities: Trudy Haynes, Byron Scott, 76ers, World B, World B Free, Touch of Class, and Dana. Fresh Start program teaches youth to reach for the stars when it comes to their education. She is supported and backed by many judges
on September the 2nd.
So September the 2nd, so
That's the
we
date.
spoke with Mr. Dodson, so we're
Yeah,
looking to
September the
reserve the
2nd.
Borough Hall for that auspicious event here in our borough. Thank you. Are there any other persons in the audience wishing to give a greeting to Ms. McCurry?
Greetings.
Anyone else
Is it town hall?
for this town hall?
Can we change the topic to a community, other community things?
Well, we're not going to be able to address any of the council questions under the public comment. So what I'd like to do, one of the. Excuse me, no, I haven't given you permission to speak.
I'll do this. What we did, Liz, if you could
Go ahead, Mr.
have a seat, and I'll clear this up. Yeah, thanks. What we agreed to do in order to, there's a public outcry, or they wanted to speak on issues, and what we did say is we'd give them an opportunity if they would act civilly, stay in their seats. It's a town hall event, and would allow the residents to speak. So that's what we said. Well, hold on, we'll control it. So I'm going to punt it back over to Madam President and have her conduct that balance of the meeting according. We said that, write out your concerns and hand them in, and Madam President will call you. All right, so it's back in your court.
So,
You did not specify how to go to town hall, just so you know, so you need to let them speak.
as far as the citizens
Or
forum,
apologize.
citizens forum, it's not a forum.
And I don't know if this is.
Yeah.
So what
We did say, we did agree that we have the residents.
Okay, the finance director has recommended that we carry this town hall to a Zoom on Monday evening, sir. Could you?
For the finance portion,
Go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
So
Make the
there was
recommendation.
already a plan to have a Zoom town hall style meeting, finance committee meeting, to give the quarterly review for the borough of Yeadon.
Yeah.
The council president and I just
Can we
speak.
ask questions during that Zoom? Because
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
Should we check to make sure that's not the only category of concerns, because some people might.
It's not the only category,
And it would be nice to let them talk tonight if that's possible.
So we're not.
That's the council president.
I understand.
Yes.
I'm just asking a question, I understand.
Understood.
Let me get the consensus. Okay, Councilor Brooks, there's a recommendation. We turned this, since 3 councilors walked out, we do not have a quorum. And because they're not present, so Councilor Jones Waters is recommending, along with Mr. Nichols, to postpone the balance of this town hall to the Monday night. Yeah, so we're gonna adjourn it. We're gonna adjourn it. That's the adjournment.
Now, what we did, before we close, we're reneging on what the agreement was. You asked me to intercede, and I did intercede, and then we did say that we would, if they would be quiet, we'd allow them to speak at the end of the meeting, and we're reneging on that.
And four councilors have agreed that this meeting should be adjourned, and the town hall will be picked up on Monday night as a recommendation of Mr. Nichols, who has the finance, which is the majority of them. So this meeting is now adjourned.